Hello, hello. This is Jan. I hope everybody's good. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not new. Thank you for being here. So, the new month is here. February is here. And I don't know if you all can feel the drastic change in energy compared to what December and January were. So this morning I was getting ready to do some work, but I got interrupted by a message that I needed to channel the energy of the month. So here I am, and here I am sharing what I got, and I'm going to keep channeling that as I am recording this. So let's get into it. The first word that came up is action, 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 exactly like on a TV or a movie set. Action! Showtime as well. And I'm going to dig into these words later on. Moving on and forward, accountability mirror. And also, change of the soundtrack. So these are all like awesome words for me this morning. Action. So, action. I know a lot of us felt like things were going at such a slow pace in December, January. It felt heavy, it felt dense, it felt like we weren't seeing the end of it for a lot of us. And that's changing now. This energy is no joke. This energy is in our faces. This energy is unforgiving, meaning if you try to escape, good luck with that. If you try to sweep everything under the rug, good luck with that. If you try to pretend that stuff doesn't exist, good luck with that. It's not gonna work. And that is very intimately related and linked to the accountability mirror that I got in this channeling. It's that mirror, I'm going to get into it later, but that mirror is something else. So action. So it's going to be time for a lot of us to take action on stuff that we have been putting aside, on stuff that we've been wanting to do, but for some of us, it was just impossible to do. We were unable to do it. And when that happens, surrendering is the most powerful tool that we have in our toolbox, because often it's all related to our ego. It's, I want to do this, but I can't do it. And then we get frustrated. It's useless to get frustrated. We all know. Surrendering is the way to go. And just take a look at the past 2 months. Note down or point out what you've been wanting to do but were unable to do or unable to complete. This is the month where you're going to complete it. This is the month where you're going to get resolutions on stuff. Showtime as the second theme. Showtime, meaning things will be revealed. Oh, that's so interesting. I was wondering what they were meaning by showtime. Things will be revealed. A change in perception will happen. I'm channeling as I go now, and it's coming in very quickly. A change in perception. So take a look at your relationship. Take a look at all those situations where you were misunderstood, where you were not seen, where you were not heard. These people are into showtime. These people that you were involved with are in showtime, meaning they're going to be shown, they're going to be faced with their own shadow side, shadow self, with their own shortcomings, with their own lack, with their own possibility of switching and changing their perception to be able to see wider, to be able to feel wider. Again, this is always the same cycle. It's always going upwards. It's always about expanding our hearts, right? So these people, for some of them, what I'm seeing is that it's going to go through a huge ego death or break or whatnot, and it's going to make its way to the heart space. For some of them, it's going to start with the heart because they're able to feel things, they're able to see and recognize that what they've been doing is no longer working for them, therefore, no longer working for other people around them. They will now be able to recognize and see how they did you wrong or other people wrong, and they will take action on that. Mind you, these themes of this month, it's the first time I'm getting it like that. They're all like so super intimately linked to one another. It's like an infinity sign between all of them. It's like you take one, you do a cycle of work with one, you're gonna end up at the same place, and then not the same place, but higher level, and you're gonna start another spiral, infinity sign. Just think about that. Keep that in mind, infinity sign. So if you reach that phase where you're like, I feel I'm at the end of a cycle, but I don't know what else to do, just wait. You will get your guidance. You will know what you need to do at that moment. It's only a matter of embracing that void period. So showtime. These people, let's get back to that. These people will be faced and thrown into their own spiritual awakening, whatever pace or level they're at. They're going to be shown the way. They're going to be shown where they need to go. And that will translate into a change of those situations or energy between people and energy at large, because when that kind of work happens on an individual level, it happens in the collective as well, right? Let's always remember that. Always. Like what we do on our own benefit someone else. I'm noticing I'm missing a lot of S's at the end of my words this morning, so please forgive me about that. So what we do, the personal work we do benefits someone else, somewhere in the world, because we're all connected. We're all one. And there's this small little thing called the unified field, which is a field of energy that is super alive and responding to our own energy. We interact with this field all the time, whether it is conscious or unconscious. But mind you, it's a lot better when we do it consciously. And in order to do it consciously, we need to do some shadow work and let go of old programs, old stuff that no longer serves us, in order to make space to receive that kind of energy. So these people, let's get back to these people once again, before I move on to the next theme. These people are going to be faced with their own shadow side, like I said, and they're going to be guided and shown the way to do some work, to level up, to go up on the spiritual ascension ladder, and to embrace their new energy, to embrace their new selves. And you will notice that if you're in contact or in communication with these people. What I can say before I move on to the next subject is that the masculine energy is being worked on a lot. All that ego stuff, toxic masculine energy. A lot of us have been confronted with that in the past 2 months. It has ended this morning. It has ended this morning. You're going to see a lot of differences, a lot of things change when it comes to that. So hang in tight, that's going to be interesting. Next subject, moving on and forward. Again, I don't think I need to expand too much on that, but I'm still going to wait to see if there's something that they want to share with us. But it's absolutely right in line with all that I've been saying. We're moving on and forward. We're moving on from stuff that is toxic to us, from stuff that no longer serves us. And sometimes that comes with making harsh and difficult decisions. But if we honor those decisions, if we honor ourselves, enough. This is the month where we're going to see why we had to do that, why we had to act this way or a specific way towards a situation. It's going to come back to us with the reason, with the moving forward, la suite, what's coming next. Sorry, it just came out in French. What's coming next, the sequel, that's the sequel of the past 2 months. So that may show up for some people like old acquaintances coming back, trying to initiate communication. It could translate like old offers that were denied being brought back on the table. New opportunities or old opportunities disguised as new ones. They will look and feel like they're new opportunities, but you will soon realize that it's just the old one or the same kind of opportunity in a different energy. And mind you, that may show up from different channels, either different people. It doesn't mean it's going to be exactly from the original source. It could be from different sources. And where we're at in this game, it's all good. It doesn't matter where it comes from. If it's not coming from the person you want to, just surrender. The universe is there to pave the way for you to move on and forward. So take that. There's like how can I say this? It's as if sources or the universe is reaching through the veil and extending a helping hand to all of us during this month of February, which will or may translate into shaping your life differently, into building your life differently, or finally getting on track with what you've been always asking for or wanting. Next theme, accountability mirror. That one made me laugh a lot. Why? Because in my personal life and story, I have been in situations where I felt I was speaking to a rock. And I've been in those situations a lot with different people, with different situations. And when you're talking to someone and you're like, dude, you're not hearing me out. You say you are, but you're not. I can tell with the way you're responding or with the way you're answering, I can tell that you're not following what I'm telling you. So to me, I call that speaking to a rock, because a rock doesn't respond, right? A rock doesn't talk back. A rock can only be there and exist in its own energy. So these kind of things will change, because these people will now be held an accountability mirror in front of them. And mind you, they have in the past, they just didn't see that mirror. Now they will. And all of that is for them to move on and forward. And it's for them to go in action. And it's for them to go in showtime. So accountability partner, what is that? It's other people reflect stuff back to us all the time. So if someone reflects a behavior that you don't like, you need to ask yourself, am I doing the same kind of behavior, and is that why I don't like it? Or is that person playing with my boundary? If it's the first option, know that it's there all the time. So that's what the accountability mirror is. It's like you need to be self-aware enough to realize that when someone annoys you, maybe you have something to do with it. Maybe, just a small maybe. And not in that specific situation, but more like there's a part of you that is resisting that person's behavior. Use the mirror. And what's different now, in the past few years, I would talk about mirrors a lot, but never have I talked about accountability mirror. It's time to be accountable, people. It's time to be responsible for our lives, for what we want, but foremost, for that unified field, because we're one, and this is important, very important. What you do on your own behind closed doors reflect in that field. So let's be aware of that. And then let's move on to change of the soundtrack. That's funny. That one made me laugh a lot also, because like I'm a super big music fan. And the soundtrack, the soundtrack of a movie, the soundtrack of a show is so super important to translate energy and information and emotions to what's going on in the scene and all that stuff. So the soundtrack is changing, my friends. We will go from self-pity, drama, victimhood, lack, avoidance, procrastination, to taking action, to moving forward, to showtime. That soundtrack, to me, I feel it as the background energy, right? So the collective energy, that soundtrack is changing. So whatever it was for you in the past couple months, picture the opposite or something in the middle of the opposite of being the opposite, and that's where you're going to be in February. Things are going to go fast, super fast, F1 style kind of pace. Like hang on tight, because if you're not ready for this is going to feel like hugging a cactus. This is going to feel like an ice bucket over your head. If you're ready though, you're going to enjoy the ride. You're going to get your popcorn out, and you're going to enjoy what's happening in front of your face, of your eyes. I don't know why I said face. Of your eyes in front of you, It's going to be super interesting to watch. Super interesting, seriously. And if you're like me, I dance all the time. I move all the time. Even when I'm sitting down at the computer, I'm moving right now, dancing. And when I'm driving at the red lights, at the stop, I dance, I sing, I dance all the time. If you're like me and you love music that much, you know what I'm talking about. You're going to put on your favorite song on loop, and you're going to watch the show. So, my friends, in order to go through that kind of energy and stay sane, you need to stay grounded. You need to stay grounded, and you need to surrender. Surrender to what is, because it is happening for your highest good. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you and for all of us as a collective. And by the end of the month, this energy is going to shift into something else, completely different, walking us towards spring, the spring equinox. So take the time to really enjoy each minute of this month. And we have a bonus day too with February 29th. So yes, take the time to really enjoy every minute, every hour, every day of this month. It's going to be quite a show, quite a performance. That's the perfect word, because everybody through the accountability mirror is called to be an active participant in this show. If you choose to opt out, if you choose to avoid, good luck to you. That's going to be one hell of a month for you. But if you choose to play along, to collaborate, to participate, I'm seeing abundance all around of good stuff. So for me, the decision is quite simple to make. So thank you for being here. You can reach out to me on my social media at IndigoGirl555 on Instagram, IndigoGirl on Facebook, or through email IndigoGirl555@gmail.com. And until the next time, be well.